Is this here the craziest Golf ever built? This one here is... Yeah, you just heard the first soundbite from the 12-cylinder engine, because this is here the Golf GTI W12, a special vehicle here, hand-built from 2007 in the typical GTI red. And this one indeed has a Bentley engine, 12-cylinder, back here, not under the front hood. We'll tell you all you need to know about this one-off piece with Thomas now to go through in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go. You have the Golf 5 face, of course, in the front with the GTI, spectacular look for sure. 19-inch wheels, mixed wheels. You have the alloy size. It's the same, both 19 in the front and in the rear, but in the rear you have 295 millimeter tires, so they are extremely wide. And they also changed here, you know, like with the air intakes, especially here. Look at that. The air goes here and then goes to this huge cooler, these two huge coolers in there, and then they cool this engine. 6-liter W12 Bentley engine, 650 horsepower, 3.7 seconds in the acceleration figure. Yeah, super massive. And they removed the whole rear bench, put the engine in there, carbon fiber around, and also here, carbon fiber roof. And they needed more downforce for this vehicle. So they basically, you can see it right here, they put the roof then a little bit lower, that you have the downforce basically than here. This is very interesting. Here more air intake as well. Yeah, so interesting design clues and aerodynamics clues with this vehicle. And you can see these two huge coolers here in the rear. And I can also soon turn one of them on for you. So one directly hops on and the other one potentially later. Then also huge exhaust tip right there. Would you want to buy one? Well, probably you can't, but maybe some would like to do. And even more interesting is, well, what's actually under the front hood when the engine is back there? So let's take a look there. This is the normal engine bay opening then in the front. There we go. There's also a very interesting interior coming up. And I mean, this has been out in 2007, but sometimes it's just interesting to take a look at classics, isn't it? Here, this is the fuel tank. So they hadn't had any space for that in the rear, so I put it right there, 12-volt supply. And then these here, I flip these from the left to the right side. And then actually this one is here for the cooler. So you all already hear it maybe in the back. And you can take a look then now in the back. Then now the cooler is running. You see here, the left one now is spinning, whereas the right one is standing still. And the other one I put on to ignite the engine. Here I can also turn off the cooler again, and you can see the difference. And when I turn both to the right side, then I can also use the key fob right here, this classic key fob. Put it in there, turn around, and then we can hear more of that sound. Top speed is 325 kilometers an hour or 202 miles per hour. And of course, you've seen the chassis is wider and lower, but the interior also has some unique features for sure. First of all, we have this contrasting look. White, black, red, and a lot of microfiber is used here on these bucket sport seats. So impressive look for sure. Let's maybe give you a little bit more light as well. Inside of the doors, well, top part is rather hard packed, and here microfiber inside, once again high gloss white. We see a lot of high gloss black in cars nowadays. This one here, high gloss white then in this case. And let me hop to the driver's seat. I can explain even more to you. So there we go. Let's also see if there's more, if there's actually, well, they are actually surprisingly not uncomfortable. That's interesting. Here, fire extinguisher. Oh, it even has like a unique fire extinguisher where it has like W12-650 horsepower. The Feuerlöscher, the F is a little bit gone, but listen and repeat, Feuerlöscher. That is the fire extinguisher, the German lesson for today. You also have some microfiber here at the steering wheel. It's surprisingly thin for nowadays comparison. So like a modern GTI has a thicker steering wheel. Even microfiber here on the airbag cover, which is no airbag at all, I would say so. And they have more interesting design clues. Yeah, this used to be the screen. Look at that, how small the screens were. Some manual elements in the lower part here for the climate, for example. And then here we have these airplane inspired flip switches. You can then unlock them right here. And this then, for example, here for the hazard lights and so on, ESP, ASR. Listen to that, bang. Bang. So this is pretty cool. And also inspired here these manual gauges from the Golf 1. This is also where they took inspiration from, of course, classic manual gauges as well. Even more microfiber also here, by the way, for example. So they really paid a lot of attention to detail, some contrast stitching here. And look at that, this red GTI accentuation here kind of like splits the interior. And this is also done with microfiber here and there. Manual handbrake, of course, to go some goon riding and so on. The only thing I'm missing here is they could have used also the microfiber on the dashboard. That's where I originally came from racing, because when you have microfiber on the dashboard, there are less reflections in the windscreen. That's why microfiber is also this racing material, and of course also lighter than animal skin leather, for example. And so yeah, really lovely this interior, and really makes you want to drive this car again. Yeah, this time it's of course, as I said, a one-off. The engine is, by the way, completely cut off from the front cabin. You can see it right here. This is also like a plexiglass layer. Is it actually could also be real glass? I'm not exactly sure. And you can take a look at all the carbon fiber here surrounding that engine and so on. It's such a strange feeling when you have a Golf and there's an engine behind you, actually. Yeah, what do you say about that? These seat belts, by the way, also some contrast stitches or contrast colors, sorry. Here in red outside. Contrast stitching we have, for example, here and again on the handbrake and also on the shifting lever. This also came directly with an automatic transmission. The nowadays GTI automatic transmissions are, of course, way quicker in that case. The dual clutch, of course, that they use nowadays. By the way, here still have enough headroom left, so that's actually no problem. It doesn't feel too unusual, so you still feel the normal Golf genes, and that's also like the reason like behind the GTI, that you still have like a normal compact hatch, whereas then it goes a little bit sporty, a little bit beyond. And then especially because they used to do these special Golf fan meetings and so on, we've also been to some of these, and then they made these concept cars to show off like, hey, that's what we can do. We want to have more fun. We do something extreme and so on. In this case, then the W12, which is probably one of the most popular Golf concepts ever done then. There is something more, because once we have shown to you the Golf GTI Roadster, completely flat out this vehicle, we have another video of that. So I would suggest that you watch this one right now.